Hello, and welcome back to the Spoilercast, the show where we talk about movies, and we don't care about spoiling them. Not even this time, I think. My name is Tobias, and with me, as always, is my sister and trusted co-host, Rebecca.
Hello.
Hello. And, today we're talking about a new spooky, scary, creepy movie. One of the more anticipated ones this year, I think.
Yeah.
It's, Osgood Perkins' Longlegs. Ooh, spooky. Yeah, creepy. One of the scariest, most, breathtaking movies of all time. People all over Twitter going like, oh my god, I barely could finish it. People were screaming, running out of the theater.
Yeah. That's a bit of an exaggeration. I'll agree to the fact that I was a little bit creeped out at times.
Sure.
To the point where I was like, this is gonna haunt me in my dreams, maybe.
Yeah.
But not screaming, crying, and throwing up.
No. This has been all over Twitter, film Twitter and Letterboxd, where all the cool kids hang out.
Sure.
And everybody's been talking about it for weeks, months, maybe even. We didn't get until now, though. So we saw it in the theater.
Yes.
Support small movies, all that stuff. So let's just get into the conversation. What did you think? Well, we should mention, though, of course, written and directed by Osgood Perkins.
Yes.
Starring Micah Monroe, and somewhat of a spoiler, I would say, but at this point, everyone knows already, Nicolas Cage.
Yes.
Because it was part of the promotion for some dumb reason. I think
his name was on some posters, his face were in some trailers.
Yeah, but the face, that could have been initially like, oh my god, it looks like, but is it? But no.
But they put his name in the
I
poster,
know.
and that's what ruined it.
I think that was dumb.
That was very dumb. Because that would have been a very cool reveal.
Yeah. But apart from dumb posters, what did you think of Longlegs?
I thought it was okay. It wasn't as fantastic as I thought it would be. It was creepy, though. I'll give it that.
Sure.
It was uncomfortable in certain aspects. But I don't know. I expected more, to be honest.
Yeah. And I gotta ask you then, because you usually don't engage too much on social media when it comes to movies, but did you get like hype from around this from the internet?
No, not really, but the trailer made it look really cool.
Okay.
And I made up my own version in my head, obviously.
Okay.
Because I don't think the trailer did the movie justice, is the wrong way to put it, because it's the other way around. The trailer made it look better than the movie actually was.
Yeah, so it did its job.
Sure.
It really sold
the movie. Then the movie didn't live up to the hype.
Yeah.
Instead, which is a bit of a disappointment then.
Sure. Yeah, and also the fact we might talk about the promotion of this movie more than the actual movie, because
we need to discuss the movie as well, though.
Yeah, sure.
But details and stuff.
Because a small movie like this, it's just like a tiny little movie. I don't know the budget, but it's I can't believe it's more than $10 million, which I know it's so much money, but in terms of movies,
compared,
yeah. But I mean, they have been teasing it with cryptic posters and weird, not even trailers, just clips that appeared online. I'm not saying it was from a movie or anything. It was just clips with, the cryptic letterings and just pictures from the movie. For months, like the entire year, it feels like. Mm-hmm. So everyone's like, oh, what is this thing? And then eventually, instead of being the cryptic text, it started saying Longlegs. But, ooh, that Longlegs movie. They really sold this movie very, very well.
Oh, yeah. Promotional, everything with the promotionals were fantastic.
Yeah. Almost then, to a fault.
A little bit too much, maybe. But what did you think of it?
Oh, I thought it was... This sucks, man. I thought it was okay. That's it.
Yeah.
Which I try to avoid spoilers, and a lot of people are just like, you don't spoil this movie. Even worse than, the MCU fans about Deadpool and Wolverine. Like, don't spoil anything. People the Letterboxd kids were like, don't spoil it for the other ones. Just tell them it's awesome and tell them to go see it, but don't spoil anything. I mean, sure, there is the big twist, I suppose.
Yeah.
But there's not really that much to spoil. I guess individual scenes you don't want to spoil, or the mood, but that's set by the.
I think
the
honestly,
trailers.
there's only one thing you don't really want to spoil too much because it ruins the story.
Yeah.
But other than that, all the other little bits and pieces are fine to spoil.
Yeah. But other than that,
I mean, you should never spoil
of
anything
course.
unnecessarily if no one wants to hear it. But like, you're allowed to post spoilers if you warn people.
Exactly.
Like
Yeah. So for me, I think it is a little bit of it's a victim of overhype because I tried to, and I don't hype up movies. I talked about this in the Alien Romulus episode, like how hype ruined Prometheus for me. I mean, I still don't think that's a great movie, but at least now I started to accept it 12 years later. But I was mortified when that movie came out because of all the hype, and I was a fan of Alien for so long and everything. And it's just like, oh no, they ruined it. And then this is like, oh man, this looks really awesome. I know Osgood Perkins is a good director. I like Micah Monroe. And then, oh, what the fuck? Nicolas Cage is in it. Ooh, cryptic messages and shit. This is gonna be awesome. And then all the stuff about people like, screaming in cinemas and being disgusted and can't finish the movie. It's like, fuck, is this gonna be like the greatest horror movie of all time?
Yeah.
And then it's just like, I don't know if I literally said it, but in my head, as the credits started rolling, I was like, that's it?
No, you didn't say it out loud.
Yeah, I was like,
but I could see it on your face.
Yeah, I was like, really? Especially the ending. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
No, but I gotta say, so this is gonna be one of those negative reviews, but
partially
because I have so much more. I've nitpicks, stuff, to criticize, so to speak, than I have to praise over the movie. So I'll just get that out of the way. I think we all agree on like the acting, pretty damn good from everyone involved.
Yeah.
A lot of people saying like Micah Monroe steals the show. Like, no, she doesn't.
No, she
Nicolas
doesn't.
Cage does. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It takes a lot to steal the show from Nicolas Cage, and Micah Monroe does not.
No, I mean, she's playing a character that's kind of deadpan in the beginning, so...
Yeah, exactly.
Even though that's
a point, and she does that very good.
Sure, but it doesn't really give you the chance to properly steal the stage.
Yeah.
When you're playing someone that's that like cold and unemotional, I guess.
Yeah. And then I know a lot of people were like, oh yeah, everyone talking about Micah Monroe and Nicolas Cage, but we gotta give Alicia Witt some credit because she stole the show. I was like, maybe for like 2 scenes, maybe? That's the mother. I was like, I didn't really see it. She was, like I said, everyone was good, but she wasn't like amazing.
No.
She was fine. Same with the guy who played the Captain Parker, whatever his name was.
Blair Underwood.
Right. What is he in? He's been in stuff.
Yeah, I recognize him too.
He's been in like TV stuff, right?
I think so.
Anything you recognize?
I keep seeing him in like uniform as if he's like an army man or something.
Yeah.
But I can't really...
well, he's been in a bunch of movies I have seen, but nothing I've seen recently, so maybe I just remember him from older stuff.
Yeah, probably.
Because he's like in Deep Impact from 1998. Stuff like that. Gattaca. But anyway, okay. But he was also good.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's really it for actors. Everyone else is the bit parts,
Yeah, I mean, I was surprised to see Kiernan Shipka in another small role.
Who? She's the camera girl?
Camera, yeah.
It looked like another actress, an older actress. What's her name? Whatever.
I don't know.
Yeah, she's a French.
We haven't talked about this movie yet, but or if we're gonna, I'm not sure. She had that really small role in Twisters, as well. Spoilers for that one. She dies in the first scene.
Well, you didn't have to say that. You could say she was in the opening. You could have just said.
But she's not in the rest of the movie. That's what I'm saying. She has a really small scene.
Sure, yeah.
She's in like the first scene. That's it.
No.
Her death is not a big impact on that movie. So.
No. That's like what. That movie starts so bad, but gets so good.
Yeah, terrible starting, but the rest of the movie, fantastic.
Yeah. Anyway, Longlegs.
Yeah, other than that, there's no like specific acting performances that are. It's
all very dry, very matter of fact, very procedural, because that's really what this is. It's a police procedural. Of course. A police thriller.
Yeah.
I guess TV shows are more procedural. Whatever, you know what I mean. But it's procedural. Yeah. And, I liked the music. It was the noise. It was very noisy. The cinematography was good.
Yes.
Nothing spectacular. It did what it was supposed to for a movie like this. All that stuff was good. I I just wasn't. I didn't find the plot engaging at all. I didn't really find the characters that engaging. I mean, other than Nicolas Cage, because he's fun to watch because he's a master performer. But like, I wasn't emotionally involved at all. I was completely detached.
There's a few things because I watched a couple of reviews or like ending explained videos.
Yeah.
And a few of them didn't properly understand it, or they like missed details or misinterpreted details that ruined their own explanations.
Because I gotta say, this is gonna be one of those. If we get any comments on this, please comment if you watch this.
Oh yeah.
Usually we get some comments when we don't give. Like generally favorable reviewed movies, we give them bad reviews. People are like, oh, you just don't get it.
Yeah. But like,
this is one of those. I wonder if I just not get it? Did I miss something?
That's what I'm trying to say. I think you need to know a lot more about other stuff than what's actually in the movie to understand the movie properly, which is dumb. Partially, you need to like know the biblical verses they're referring to. You need to understand them better.
Do you really, though? What does that
kind
add?
of. Huh?
What does that add to this plot?
It explains more of the creature or the people and their roles in what's happening. Creature was wrong. I don't know why I got creature.
Yeah, that's not a spoiler. There's no creature in the movie.
That was just me saying a wrong word. It explains more about who the people are and what they represent. And if you missed some details, you won't understand the ending properly.
Okay.
Which I noticed in one of the reviews I watched.
Okay.
He completely missed certain details and called them other things, and that just made the ending not make sense.
Okay. So I think from this, because this is a movie where, like I said, I have a lot of questions and nitpicks about story and plot specific things.
Yes.
And like, so I think we'd have to get into spoilers pretty quickly. And also, I don't really have anything else in general to say about the movie other than it was pretty good.
Yeah. Not as good as we expected.
As far as crime thrillers, specifically like this, the very dry, police procedural kind of crime thriller. I know a lot of people drew references or drew likeness to Silence of the Lambs. Even
apparently
that's a promotional material was even like, amazing, the best crime thriller since, or like this kind of movie since Silence of the Lambs. And I was like, I don't know.
According to who was it I watched? I watched Spooky Astronauts on YouTube.
Yeah.
Writer and director Osgood Perkins took inspiration from Silence of the Lambs, specifically regarding the relationship between our main characters.
Yeah.
And also apparently the cipher.
Cipher?
But I don't remember a cipher in Silence of the Lambs.
There's no cipher in Silence of the
Lambs.
No,
exactly. I don't know what she meant by that.
About?
That made me think of Zodiac instead.
Yeah. Yeah, and saying that is such... Okay, we're gonna go on a little bit, because now I'm fucking fired up. Because I can't think of every movie, but I was like, there gotta be other crime thrillers between 1991 and now that are better than this. It's like, maybe not, but then I started looking at it, and motherfucker, this is just one. This is one list, and it's like, oh, because you have. Listen, I'm not saying it's better, but I mean, to say that
it's a good movie,
that there's nothing to mention between Silence of the Lambs and here, you have Insomnia. I would say both the Norwegian and the American version, the Christopher Nolan, Alaska crime thriller. With, with what's his name? The funny guy, Robin Williams as a murderer.
Yeah.
Al Pacino. Fucking Seven came out in 95, so that is between here. Prisoners, 2013. Have you seen Prisoners?
Yeah. Yes, I have.
Oh my god!
Yes.
You mentioned it, Zodiac, for fuck's sake.
Yeah.
Let's see. No, I mean, I guess with the whole, because there's of course the whole satanic ritual kind of thing, but that's not even a thing in So you can't even say that, oh, well, these movies don't have that religious aspect. Well, Silence of the Lambs doesn't either. So
No.
I'll mention even Mystic River, which I would almost say is more of a drama, though, but they count it here as a psychological thriller. Amazing movie. They mentioned Manhunter, but that came out before, so I can't.
Whatever.
I don't remember, but that is amazing. I mean, Gone Girl? Even Gone Girl? I think I enjoyed Gone Girl more than this. What else do they have here? Philadelphia. Now that's more of a drama, though. But
yeah, no, but there are a bunch of criminal, crime story, psychological, whatever. Like there's a bunch of them
from the perspective of the police, and there's the connection between the police and the murderer. Ooh.
It's unfair to say that there's been no good one in between this and.
They didn't say that, but they made it feel like that. Like, ooh, this is the best one since. It's like. Everything
the way
else
they're phrasing it
isn't
fair.
Yeah, and it's just like no. You're a lie.
Yeah. But yes, we do. I think to actually like dissect this or like actually discuss it, we need to mention details, which entails spoilers.
Yeah. So we're almost at 20 anyway. We're at 16 minutes.
16 or something.
So yeah, a little shorter. But yeah, if you want to go see the movie. Sure, it's a fine watch. If you like creepy, thriller mysteries, check it out. Especially, for the performances of Micah Monroe and Nicolas Cage. Amazing performances.
Yeah. And I gotta say, like some of the technical aspects were a bit interesting, of like the choice of framing and stuff.
Yeah,
it was pretty cool. It was interesting
good
to see. I haven't seen that in a while.
No, it was good to use cinematic perspective as a way of differentiating between timelines, so to speak, times. All that is good, and of course, support smaller movies. This is kind of shit you should go see in the cinema.
Yeah,
and save Deadpool and Wolverine for Disney Plus because they don't need your money. They don't need your money. Yeah. Anyway,
so spoilers
from here on out. Spoilers for Longlegs. So don't.
You have been warned.
You have been warned. So. When Nicolas Cage kills himself, I actually don't have a question about that, but I could do it again. Yes.
Yeah.
What I want to say, because you seem like you, especially now that you have kind of watched a couple of videos, you get it. Like, there's nothing like that eludes you, or
not as much as you seem to be confused about it.
That's good. That's good.
But it's the explanation is dumb. In general, like the overall explanation is very basic and dumb.
Okay, thank you. Yeah. Thank you.
But like details that explain stuff are a little bit interesting. If you can, oversee the fact that it boils down to devil worship.
Yeah, which is just like the biggest like.
It's a cop out. Really.
Because and we talked about this as well, and it's just like, sure, I like a good, supernatural movie or, ghost movies or whatever. But when it comes to like super serious, dark, especially murder mysteries like this, there's nothing scarier than the darkness of the human mind.
Yeah.
So then to have this actually be the fucking devil is just like, oh, come on.
I mean, we can argue
that the devil is literally there.
I know, but that could be like a figment of their imagination because they're crazy or whatever. But
no,
then you shouldn't show it to us, I know.
Yeah, and literally when she shoots the head off the doll, she goes...
we see the physical,
And
we even see the physical,
I know, which was smoke
coming out of her head
that was
as well.
So
that was
bad.
So bad.
It was like that. We have to explain for the audience what is happening. So, no, people who watch this will understand what you're doing right here. We get it. We don't need to see smoke coming out of her head. Like, come on.
No. I thought that was like an editing mistake at first.
It was so bad.
But yeah. But there are, like, I like the way they wrote in, like, the details sort of telling us the ending before the ending actually happened. Though I have to be honest, on, like, watching it the first time, I did not pick up on all of them. Obviously, but when I had them pointed out to me, I was like, "Yeah, that makes sense."
Yeah, and
I think you would have realized it better if you watched it a second time.
Yes, I'll say that. Because this as we just got it. Technically, we don't get it until 2 days we're recording this on the 28th of August. It technically doesn't premiere until the 30th here in Sweden, but they did release. They had like a sneak. Not even like announced the sneak preview. It was just
an early
we have
premiere
tickets for the 28th. Okay, I'll go watch it then.
Yeah.
But it just released on digital in America. So yeah, I just before we got home had to skim through it again to just like, did I miss something? Am I retarded? Why don't I like this movie? You know.
I mean, you did miss some parts.
Yeah, but I watched them again. I missed literally 30 seconds, but those 30 seconds really...
Well, when they
really,
told you everything.
They didn't tell you everything, but it really tied the two halves of the movie together, which was annoying.
Yes. It was the exact moment where they said the right words, basically.
Yeah, literally when they said, like, well, your mom made a call 15 years ago, and we're pretty sure that's connected to this because of this. And it's like, what the fuck? And also, what a jumping to conclusions that is. Actually, I think
that's true.
Yeah. Okay,
I'm trying to remember though. Did she show the photo before or after that? After that,
yes.
Right? Yeah.
Because Parker asks her to go talk to her mother. After he has read through her file, and then like, your mom made a call in 78.
Why would that be in her file?
Well, I mean, I think all like criminal history, so to speak, is in there, and even if it's just
anything reported by your family as well, just because. By the way, it's Carter, not Parker.
Oh, sorry, Carter, Harker, Carter, Parker, Carter, Harter, Parter,
Harker.
Yeah, Cobble, Camera. Anyway, sorry.
Weird last names, a bunch of them. Fisk?
I wonder if that is a little bit of a... Because this was shot in Canada, I think.
Yeah.
I don't know if Oscar Perkins is Canadian. But it made me think of David Cronenberg, who is like the greatest Canadian filmmaker of all time. The body horror guy, The Fly and everything.
Oscar Perkins is born in New York City.
Okay.
So he's not... No.
But anyway... David Cronenberg always has weird names in all his characters in all his movies. You know, Scanners and Existence and The Fly and everything. So here they had... And it takes place in Canada. So I was like, is that a reference to Cronenberg to have kind of weird names? Doesn't matter. What are you looking at?
Sorry, I got distracted by a new Oscar Perkins movie that's coming out next year.
Okay.
Sorry.
Where was I?
I just think they had weird names because it was funny.
Yeah.
To make it, more Canadian or something.
But it doesn't take place in Canada. It was shot in Canada.
True. Yeah, whatever.
Anyway.
Where's it supposed to take place? I didn't get that.
America.
Yeah, I suppose.
Is that supposed to be a city, I think? A specific place. We're getting off track again. What is happening?
Yes, sorry.
What were we talking
about? I don't know. Well, there's a detail I need to talk about. Because I don't remember who now. I watched a couple. But one of the ending explained that I watched got the detail wrong about how she figured out the cipher.
Well, we can't go into the ending right now. We need to do this the right way.
That's a middle thing. The cipher, she figures out the cipher in the middle.
The
has
cipher
nothing
comes
to do with
pretty
anything,
early.
really.
The cipher...
Yeah, that's what I mean. And it doesn't really do anything, if I'm being honest.
That's also so dumb. Well, we have to go through the thing now. Okay. So first...
Start from where you want to start.
Yes. From the beginning, because this movie is full of dumb stuff.
Yeah, that's true.
From the beginning, so Lee Harker... Newly examined or whatever you call it, FBI agent. She's about to do her first, field operation. They're gonna go knock doors to find this guy, the serial killer, whatever.
Yeah.
She goes out with her partner. They're knocking doors, and she gets this feeling like he's in there, pointing to a house.
It's this house.
Turns out he is there. Turns out she is clairvoyant, as they say. Half clairvoyant is good than not being clairvoyant. Ha ha ha.
Intuitive or something they call it.
Intuitive. Sorry, yeah. Let's call it intuition.
No, they call it a few things.
Yeah. So then they they test her, and that's when they find out she has something. She's more than just intuition. There's something else going on.
Yeah, there's something going on. Yeah.
So then they put her on this special case where they have been chasing a murderer for 30 years. Problem is, there is never any evidence of him being there. He does not commit the murders. It's seemingly always the father who kills his family and then kills himself. Mm-hmm. But a letter is always left by an outside person, because it doesn't match any of the family members' handwriting. There's cryptic text or cryptic symbols, and it's always signed Longlegs. Yeah. And they're like, maybe you with your superpower can figure it out. So she starts digging into it.
Yeah.
We get flashbacks. The movie starts with a flashback, so to speak, to her as a child, which we don't know though is her as a child, but we kind of
assumed.
I didn't assume at first. Either way, no, I did, because I had heard the thing about Nicolas Cage. First of all, I don't know if I misunderstood that. I heard somewhere that Nicolas Cage was supposed to play her intuition, her imaginary buddy who helps her solve crimes. That's not all. That's not at all the case. I don't know where I got that from. So that threw me off.
Yeah.
Especially since the first time you see him or hear him, he draws her away from the car, which we think is a scary car, which is actually his car. Because in the beginning, she's walking towards the car. There's a dark presence in the car. You see the doll and she's about to walk up to it, but then she hears cuckoo and walks to the voice. Like, oh, he saved her. So it's like, maybe that's it. But then it turns out that's not it. Anyway, back to her as a grown up. She starts looking into the murders.
She starts making some connections.
With dates and everything.
Yeah.
But then when she's not having hit, a wall or anything, but just like, okay, that's it for now. She gets a letter given to her by Longlegs
at her home.
We see him in her house. Once again, I was just like,
yeah.
Oh, is that just him? His, the imaginary buddy walking around in her house. But no, that I understood later. No, he was actually in the house. Gave her a birthday card, which says, happy 9th birthday on it.
9th birthday, yeah.
Which makes sense because all the girls were murdered when they were 9.
And also it says don't open until January 14th.
Yeah, which is the day it's her birthday.
It's her birthday, so it's a few days later actually, but she opens straight away, obviously.
Yeah, there's also something. She notices the one thing that connects the families that have been murdered is that the daughter of the family is 9, and her birthday comes within 6 days of the murder, either before or after.
Yeah.
So that she didn't go, oh, it says 9 on this. She didn't connect that. Was like, in hindsight, I was like, dumb.
Yeah.
Idiot. Especially you who have intuition.
Clairvoyance or whatever.
But then this card has text on it. It's the I stand upon the sand of the sea. No, wait.
Something like that.
Something like that. Which, and under that are the cryptic symbols. So it's literally
a key.
A key, right, a key for
the cipher.
Yeah, cipher. So this guy has not left a single clue to how to figure it out for 30 years. And now, when she comes on to the case, he gives her a clue, but tells them or writes in the note if you tell them how you figure it out, I'll cut your mom's milk tits off and let her bleed to death.
Her death.
Yeah, it's like...
But why then?
Why then? Yeah, because it's like, because that's part of the grand plan. We'll get to that. To that. Because then, and she doesn't tell them, which I was like,
no.
Of course you're going to tell them.
She just translates all the letters and doesn't tell them how she figured it out. I think she says, I stared at it
long enough. Which is like,
that's not how it works.
That's not how it works. If you don't have a single key or a cipher, one letter, you cannot figure it out.
It's impossible.
It is impossible. Literally impossible.
I mean, it's mostly impossible even if you only have one. So
yeah, there is the deductive method where the most common double L's or S's, you can just start testing with those, but that would take you weeks, months, maybe years to figure it out.
Yeah.
She does
and what
it
if the
2
one
days.
key you have is Z?
Yeah. She does it in 1 day. So no. No one questions that is bullshit.
Nope. Yeah.
Yeah. But then
that's what one of the reviews got wrong. He didn't understand that she got the key from that birthday card. He kind of skipped over that. Like, she just figured it out somehow.
She was literally
she got the key.
marking it and then putting it on, like, do you figure it out? Yeah. Anyway, right, yeah.
Then they show up at the latest murder, which they show up to a month late.
Yeah. Yeah, all the time.
That's the next scene, because someone calls her while she's deciphering and like, oh, Carter's looking for you.
Yeah. Funny though, she's like, yeah, I'll be right over. And from the way the movie is shot and edited, this is like the night after she's been put on the case. And then it's the same night as she and her boss went drinking.
And she drove him home. So she's home very early in the morning, I'm assuming.
I guess, because
she leaves their house at 12 or just past 12.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, so it's the middle of the night when she receives the cipher and then gets the phone call.
And fine, let's give her like 2 hours to be at home.
Yeah, but it's
because she showers and she calls her mom and then that thing happens and she looks at the letter. Give her 2 hours, so it's 2:00 in the morning.
But the way it looks, because then when she arrives at the crime scene, it's like broad daylight.
Yeah, it's like 10 o'clock at day or something. I don't know if she lives hours away.
Sure.
Because it does look like she lives in this like cabin in the woods.
Yeah, which doesn't really matter. But it just looked like
such a set.
Yeah, it looked super fake.
Yeah.
It looked like a ski lodge, but in the Oregon forest. That's what takes place, Oregon, because they mentioned Oregon slaying, so I'm guessing it's the same state.
It looks so fake. It just looked so fake. It was just weird. And the creepiest house ever to live in.
So
she gets to the crime scene.
She gets to the crime scene, tells him like, "Oh, I figured it out." Just like that. And
because he shows him, he shows her the new letter, and she just translates it straight away.
Yeah. And he's just like, "Oh, I guess you did then. I guess you're superhuman."
Fine.
You know, imagine if she actually used her intuition and she wasn't given the cipher by the murderer.
Yeah.
Anyway, so they figure that out and they see that it fits into the pattern of the killings. That the girl was 9, her birthday turns out was 6 days after they were murdered or before.
Yeah.
I don't know. And then then for some reason in all the letters he's written over 30 years, starting in the 65, because this movie takes place in 95, they say, because it was 75 when the Camera murders happened, the Camera family murders, was 20 years ago. So it's 95.
How old is she supposed to be?
She's supposed to be like, she joined the force when she was 20, Longlegs says. So she's 23, maybe? 25? Something like that.
Yeah.
So she's born, in the 70s. That makes sense. That should be 75. She was, 75, then she was 9, so she was born in 66. Because, her mom delivers the Camera family doll.
Yeah, but I thought she was the first one.
No.
Oh.
She was not the first one.
Then I missed that.
She was the first one where the mom agreed to the terms. Like, either I kill you all now, or you help me kill the rest, and I'll spare your daughter.
So she didn't help him with all of them. She just helped him with the rest of them.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Because he says, I gave her the choice, like I gave all of them.
Yeah, that's true.
Anyway, where
the
were
murder
we?
is again,
right.
The murder scene has.
Yeah, she talks after they have checked the house and like everything. They go back and she says like, "Oh yeah, I translated all the letters." And the one detail he keeps coming back to is the Camera family. The time we spent at Camera Farm. And that was a family called Camera. There's a stupid name, but yeah. Which is the only one where there was a survivor. The little girl of the family survived. But okay, so once again, he is pointing towards... And also, it can't be all the letters. It has to be every letter after 1975.
Yeah.
Sure, that can be...
No, I don't think she says all the letters. She says a lot.
She says most of the letters. Yeah, it keeps most of them. But yeah. Shouldn't they... Once again, it's one of those details. Shouldn't she say that all the letters after 75 references to the Camera farm? And then they would say, there was a camera family murdered in 75, That's what a police procedure does. Gives you information. This doesn't. Ever. Other than dumb information.
Right, and that's when she said something about the crosses point you to the spot or something.
Yeah, where X's points to the treasure. So the place.
Yeah.
Okay. So they go there, and they find a doll. And we gotta skip forward. Why is that the only one where the doll is left? That's the dolls. Was that doll left because the girl still lived?
I'm assuming, yes.
Okay.
Because they don't mention the dolls in any of the other crime scenes, really.
Not really, yeah, exactly.
It's mentioned in passing by at one point, I think, but they don't bring it up as a clue. They don't bring it up as that's one of the similarities, that there were dolls at all the places.
Yeah. Which, okay.
Again, feels like a missed detail, unless Longlegs and his accomplice removes the doll afterwards.
But then why point to one of the dolls? Once again, why? I know that, it's the classic, serial killers are often narcissists, so they want to, they kind of want to lead the cops on. But it's just like,
it could also be that because Lee was like the one that got away, sort of, but also Camera Girl, whatever her name was, she was also one of them that got away. He needed to end both of them to finish.
Yeah, but he did that. Like what? Why?
No, he needed one more, and then those two for some reason to finish his work or something, I guess. But it's not.
It's so
that's not clear.
That's so flimsy.
Yeah,
and it's
not
so
obvious.
No, it's so convoluted. Like he could just walk because we find out that we got to go talk to the camera girl. Then they go over there. Turns out
she's in a loony bin.
Yeah,
first of all,
she's been catatonic for 20 years, but then just 2 days ago, what a coincidence! It was like someone switched her on, and now she's lucid again because she had a visitor. Oh, who was it? Oh, I didn't know. I wasn't here. Oh, did anyone check?
That dude was so comical. I didn't like it. He was
I don't know what they were going for there. I mean, it was very effete, very gay.
Yeah, but it didn't make sense. It didn't fit.
It doesn't really matter, but
no, it just felt very off.
Yeah. And it was like, so you weren't here? No. Did any guards check? No.
They don't check IDs.
You don't check IDs when you have crazy people around.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, like what the fuck? Like I don't know if you've been to a psych ward, but you kind of need to check in unless they know you there. No, but so this person who went to see her.
I mean, they do write in the book that they're there.
Yeah, but they wrote a fake name.
Yeah,
they wrote in Lee Harker, the FBI agent. Ooh, is that to throw us off? It's like maybe she's the killer.
I think so. It's like, maybe she's unconsciously doing shit.
Yeah, which they did. Yeah, they kind of hint at. Definitely, she seems to have some sort of connection to it all.
Yeah,
but it's kind of dispelled pretty quickly after that. So it's like, what was the point?
Yeah.
Yeah, but then they talk to her. And that's one of those details that, when I skimmed through it, I was like, that's interesting because she says, "Have I met you before?
Yeah,
you've been to my house." She was obviously talking about her mom.
Exactly.
Funny. But she doesn't really say much. Like, oh no, the person.
She talks about like, the person who met me, I love them. Basically, I love them. I cherish them. Whatever. I'll do anything for them. If they tell me to kill you, I would gladly squeeze you until your heart pops. Pop, pop, pop.
Pop, pop.
If they told me to jump off the roof, I would do it and smile as the ground greets me.
Yeah.
Which then, she does.
Yeah. Okay.
But why?
Yeah. We don't really get a lot of information from that.
No.
And this person, you said her name? What was the actress?
Shannon Kipka. Whatever. Karnan Shipka.
Fucking that was the one terrible performance. She was so bad. She's supposed to be talking like, the country girl, But she has this super flat, like, just general American accent, and she done keeps saying things like, yes, the walls is, the ground is coming closer to me,
that's the weird thing, though. I don't think she's supposed to be super country, but the way she says the words with ending with, like, S's and stuff is something that, I was about to call him Klopp, that's not his name.
Cobble.
Cobble does as well. But we only hear that a couple of times, so it's not like it's a speech pattern that we like actually notice. I just happened to notice it after I'd heard her. I went, he sounds like her. So I'm thinking that's him.
That the devil is in her now.
Or something. Yeah.
No. All right.
Again, not explained though.
No.
So
and
who the fuck knows?
Man, we've talked about it. The movie shouldn't explain everything, but it's just like it doesn't add to anything.
No.
Because we don't even know if that's actually what it is, that he's in her, or if she's just woken up and that's how she talks. Because I didn't really pick that up on him.
It's like 2 times or 3 times it says it like that.
Okay.
But not as much as she does. No, so it's not like you notice it the same way.
Exactly. But then I'm like, okay, so he was here. Oh, she calls her like a flimsy, bitchy angel or something for some reason.
Yeah, something like that.
Okay. And then they're like, okay, so we're kind of hitting a wall here. What are we supposed to do?
But they do question the fact that why would he put your name down?
Yeah, exactly.
Instead of his own.
That's the one thing. And then he's like, you know what, Harker, says Captain Carter. He's like, I went through your file. Turns out your mom made 1 phone call to the police in 1975. That's the only time she ever called. And she talked about an intruder.
He does mention that it was the day. Well, he says the date, and she says, "Oh, 1 day before my birthday."
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, your 9th birthday.
Okay, but that's still just like that's
still very flimsy.
Very flimsy to say. Yeah, and she reported an intruder. The tall, pale man.
Yeah.
It's just like,
which is not a description they've had before.
Exactly. So why would that be like, ooh, that sticks out? This is a
long
tall white guy.
Legs, tall, I don't know.
Oh, yeah. And it's like,
that's a stretch.
Yeah. And then you're like, so, I think you need to talk to your mom and see what the hell because there's a connection there. It's like, is there? I mean, yes, it literally is, but that's just because that's written into the script. In reality, I think lots of people call about intruders.
Yeah, but the way he says it, though, it's also, he's read in her file that she does not have a great connection with her mother, that she maybe doesn't meet her often, and she has just been through trauma.
No, he doesn't say that. He asks her, when did you last speak to your mom? And over the course of this movie takes place over, 5 days? Something except for the opening, which I think is a little earlier. She calls her twice and visits twice. I live 10 minutes from our parents. I don't even visit and talk to them that much. What are you talking about having a...
the visits are after he says she needs to visit, though.
But the calls are before that.
Yeah, that's true.
And I even got the feeling that the mother was overbearing and she's constantly calling and they have this connection. I felt that there was some sort of childhood trauma going on. I did not get that feeling at all. I'm just saying.
I didn't get the feeling from it, but the way he worded it, it sounded like he's like, maybe you should talk to your mom.
Okay, yeah, sure. So she goes over.
But I still don't get the connection with long, pale man. I don't know what that had.
So bad. It's so flimsy. It's and it only works because it turns out he was right.
Yeah.
So she goes over there, talks to her mom. All she ever talks about is saying your prayers and, it's your birthday soon, which, all that has to do with, the devil and the killings. Ooh, whatever. Something you pick up when you, like I said, I skimmed through it before we did this again, see if I missed something. And it's like, oh, okay. And now I get why she keeps talking about the birthday.
Yeah.
But also
it's almost your birthday.
Yeah. Also
which is the first thing she says in the first call, I think.
Yeah. Why does it matter? I mean, it matters, but what is the point? Is what I'm trying to say. And she's like, oh, yeah, you were allowed. She's like, I can't... Lee asks her, what happened on my 9th birthday? She's like, I don't remember. You don't remember anything? Nope.
She even says, we don't remember.
Yeah, we don't remember. And she's like, little girls need to know about nasty things like that. And she says, well, I'm not a little girl now. I'm an adult. She's like, yeah, you were allowed to grow up. She goes, what do you mean allowed to grow up? She's like, well, I might not remember, but I kept everything. Like, so that's literally how you remember. You keep things. Anyway, so she goes up.
That's when she goes through her stuff, her own stuff.
Yeah, it turns out she has a picture of a tall, pale man. And she just, because of the wishy-washy intuition she has, she just goes...
all of a sudden comes back into play.
Yeah, which she just... Because her intuition hasn't really done anything for her from the beginning of the movie until now. Because everything else has been explained to her by Longlegs. Yeah, but now it's just like, oh my god, that's the guy.
That's him.
It is? And you're basing this on what? And literally, that's what her boss says. Like, yeah, you want to start a manhunt based on a hunch? She's like, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, then, I suppose.
Which is kind of what her partner says in the first scene as well. It's like, okay, sure, I'll knock the door, but like, we can't call in for reinforcement on a hunch.
But that's still just like, I don't know. I don't buy it.
No. If they want to play on the intuition stuff, they should have had that more, first of all.
Yes.
Which it's literally only in the movie twice.
Yeah, that's what I mean. But that's just supposed to establish that, and that's why she like figured out. But it's
no, that's not how it works.
No, they needed to keep like throwing that in there that she figured things out.
Yeah.
Because at that point, that far into the movie, now we're like an hour into the movie. I was almost like, how did you figure that out? And I was like, oh right, because she's intuitive. I was like, oh, I had to like, I didn't like immediately go to, oh, that's why. It's just like, which means that there are gaps in the writing, I think.
Yes.
But anyway, so they put on a manhunt, and literally in the next scene, they find him. They don't have a name. They don't have a last known location. All they have is one picture from 20 years ago, and they find him immediately. And we know that it is
the road.
We know that it is immediately because the 13th is the day after. So this is literally the same day. It feels like most of the movie takes place in one day.
Yeah.
It's just, excuse me? And how did they find him? Yeah. And how
in the middle of the road, in the middle of nowhere.
And why was he prepared to leave? Does he have a connection to her? Does he know that they were looking for him? Because he was standing in the middle of the road by a bus stop, fair. But he had all his notebooks with him. He had abandoned his workshop where they built the dolls.
He had abandoned his car, which we know he has.
Yeah. How did they explain that?
They don't.
No, they don't. Oh, they just found him immediately.
Yep. It's like someone called and like, oh, I see him. He's standing right outside my door.
They knew where he was that quickly. But nobody noticed that, that's very close to Lee Harker's mom's house.
Yeah.
And she's connected to the case somehow. Maybe we should check it out. Oh, there's a locked door, which she saw before. And she had like premonitions like, oh, there's something about this door. But she couldn't open it. Like, nobody cared about looking into that.
No.
Even the killer's just down the road from her house. Or wasn't he? Was he somewhere else? How the fuck did he get there if he was not close enough to the house that they could figure it out? How did he get there so fast since they found him literally the same day?
And his car is still at Ruth Parker's house.
Yeah, they don't. They don't know that though. But still.
No, but like he didn't drive, obviously.
Yeah. Like it doesn't make sense. So then they get him in for questioning. He just talks about happy birthday, when I get to see Lee Harker. And then she goes to talk to him and says, oh, we got you. It's over. And she's like, yeah, now I'm free. I don't know what he means by being free.
Again, I'm guessing he's done because he knows that like the last one will be
but he seemed to like Satan because he says hell Satan, and then he kills himself.
But now he's accomplished his mission for Satan. Now he can join him in hell or something.
Okay.
I don't know. Isn't that what Satan is supposed
to do? But ultimately, he does not succeed, though.
No,
because Miss Ruby, the last kid, survives. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, after saying like, "Oh, we've watched you for so long," and she keeps saying, "Who's your accomplice?" Like, and he doesn't say, but then he says, "We watched you for so long. You when you turned 20, you wanted to become, a police person. You joined the force." He says, "We laughed. Well, I laughed. She didn't. Who's she? Who's she?" He's hinting at the accomplice, and she just knows there's an accomplice. She just knows there's an accomplice. I guess.
No, but they kept saying that from the beginning, though, because he never entered the house. So they're like, someone had to do something.
Sure,
They even mentioned, like, it has to be someone that people trust to let in their house, like, randomly. They mentioned, like, maybe it's someone from the church, or it's, from the community.
That's the only detail that they actually work at and deduce in a good way, I think. That he has an accomplice, even though she's the only one that believes that. No one else does for some reason. That's the most like common sense thing, that he has an accomplice.
Yeah.
Anyway, does he say, "Why don't you ask your mother"?
I don't remember.
I got the feeling he does. Either way,
he might say that, or he might say, "Why don't you ask her" or something, and she just goes, "Mom?"
I guess intuition again, something like that. Yeah. But then he smashes his face into the table until he dies, which is kind of gross because his nose literally falls off.
Yep.
And
teeth are out of the mouth.
Yeah, and his head split open. Yeah, that was nasty. Cool, but nasty. And then, so then it's like, oh, now we got to bring your mom in for questioning. Obviously, since there was photos of the guy, so he was there. We need to ask if she knows more. So she goes over there. And then her mom shows up in a nun outfit, shoots the other agent lady who sits in the car while
who drives Lee there, because she can't drive after what she experienced.
Yeah,
convenient
way to get another victim there.
Yes.
So she shoots her while Lee is in the house. So she goes out there, and she sees her shoot another round of buckshot into her head for some reason. Even though her head...
Sure, always double tap.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you. I've been watching a lot of gun tubers lately. One shot, point blank range like that, and there's no head left to shoot.
No,
I'm just saying. Literally. But whatever. It's for, visuals.
Effects.
And you have that shot, which is in the background here if you're watching this on YouTube. It's the when she's holding the gun, Yeah. Ooh, that was one of the pictures that everyone was like, "Oh my god, it's so scary." Then she walks out there. She sees her mom, who is pointing the gun now at a doll. That kind of looks...
First it looks like a child, but
But you see it's a doll.
And it kind of looks like her. It kind of looks like the child from the first scene. And then you see it's the doll that looks like the child from the first scene.
Yeah. And she's like, "Oh, yeah, he's free now." It's like, "Yeah, it's over now, Mom. You don't have to."
He's dead.
And it's just like, and at this point, you're like, "Oh, so was she the accomplice?" Okay, that was a turn, I suppose.
Yeah.
And then she shoots the doll's head, and we know from an early detail that all the dolls, or we know one doll, but we're guessing all dolls have like a little ball, a hollow ball inside their heads.
Metal thing, yeah.
Yeah. So when she shoots this thing...
That is empty.
It's empty, yeah. Although when you hold up, what's it called? Ultrasound machine, you can hear things. And that's when she gets visions, when it does that. And the coroner who did it says, "I could swear the other day it whispered my ex-wife's name."
Yeah.
Which makes sense, because that's where the devil is. He's in the ball. Or part of the devil is
Yeah, because when she shoots the doll and the ball explodes... black smoke comes out of it, as well as the smoke from her head. Then, and she collapses.
Yeah, and I guess she loses her power there, or what is supposed to happen there?
It's like a voodoo doll. The ball inside the head is controlling the human.
But is it controlling her as well?
To a certain point, which is why she's so kind of deadpan and has these intuitions.
Because
the devil is allowing her to see it.
But the camera girl who's
feeding it to her.
The camera girl whose doll was also alive, so to speak. She was catatonic. Was that because the doll was buried, or?
Yeah, possibly.
Okay, fair enough. But
when they dug her up, that's literally when she woke up. True. Even though they attested to.
Well, they removed the ball from the head. Maybe that's when it happens. I don't know.
That could also be it.
But yeah, so she passes out right there, and then there's, it fades to black. And then it's flashback to her as a kid with voiceover from her mom as she explains everything. She explains that Longlegs, or Koppel, as it's called, Nicolas Cage's character. What's his name?
Francis Ford Coppola? No.
No, it's something Ferdinand Koppel.
Yeah, they don't put the entire name on IMDb.
Whatever, doesn't matter. Longlegs. He showed up there to kill them. Although why he would pick a non-traditional family, so to speak, is all the other victims are, mommy, daddy, daughter. At least one daughter. There are more kids sometimes.
Yeah.
Every single family he kills, or they kill, whatever, is that. It's a nuclear family. So why did he pick one that's just a mom and a daughter for this one?
I don't know.
That's also like...
I don't know because he always... The doll, even though it possesses the daughter, it makes the dad go crazy and kill his family.
Exactly.
So who was supposed to go crazy and die here?
Yeah.
Was he gonna kill them? Or like...
And that's where it also doesn't make sense, because we see then that he goes into the house, he ties up the mom, he hog ties the mom and says, like, I'm gonna kill your daughter unless you help me.
Yeah.
Kill other people. And he says that he gave that choice to everyone else. But we never see...
So maybe he changed his MO after that, but they don't explain that either. They don't talk about how the MO kind of changed after a certain point, that it went from random just families, no matter what, until to after being specifically the dad killing the family.
Yeah, but the way they explain it is that the dad always does it and then kills himself.
Yeah, that's why it doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense. Why he 10 years into his killing spree would divert and then ask that mom to help him. But he says also that he has asked everyone else that question.
But her mom never asked that question, as far as we know.
Yeah, so when did he ask that question?
That's why I'm thinking that they were the first family.
But why I'm thinking, how could they be the first family?
I don't know.
It literally doesn't work. The timeline doesn't work, because they say the murder started 30 years ago. We know that was in the 60s. We know that the Camera family murders were in 1975. They say 75. And then he says 20 years ago. So that means that the movie takes place in 1995. We know that Lee Harker, Micah Monroe's character, she joined the force when she was 20, which means that she's now somewhere between 20 and 25.
Yeah.
That means her 9th birthday was in she was born... No, she was born in...
You said 60 something.
That doesn't make sense at all. No, sorry. No, you're right. Because 20 years ago, she was 9.
Yeah.
Which means then that she was... No, she's 31 then. Sorry, 31.
Yeah. Her age doesn't really matter except for the fact that she was 9 when he met her.
Then it might... No, exactly. Because, he met her when she was 9. And
when she turned 9, yeah.
Yeah. That means she was born in 64.
Yeah.
Because she's somewhere between 20... We're estimating that she's 31.
Yeah.
Because... Am I doing the math?
The only time they're saying her date is when he's saying that the call came on January 13th, 1975. That's when your mother made a call about...
Oh, it was 75.
I think it was 75, yeah.
Does he say 75? Because maybe I'm off then. She joined the force when she was 20.
Here, let me see.
Maybe I'm completely wrong. Maybe it all makes sense. Hold on. There's gonna have to be a clip. A spoiler clip.
He murders a family in... Okay, wait. I found the scene where he tells her about it. Let me just pull it up. So I'm not missing anything. I need a few more seconds. She's terrified. All right. So he murders a family in 75.
The Camera family.
But he doesn't... Wait, what? He doesn't what? What did he say? That was too fast. But he doesn't visit when they're killed.
No, he never visits. They say he's never there. Well, he leaves,
but he probably isn't even in the house when they're killed. That's what he said.
Yeah.
Then comes back almost 20 years later to visit the only survivor.
Yeah.
Signs in as the agent chasing him, and then leaves his only surviving victim feeling much, much better.
20 years later. So that it was 75.
Before he got there.
So that means...
So 75 was when he killed the camera family.
Yeah. So we know that is 75.
Yeah.
We know, because he says 75. So that means the movie takes place in 95.
Yes.
And Lee... Like I said, she's between 20 and 25, because they keep saying you joined the force at 20. I don't think she spent 10 years as a cop and then became an FBI agent. Because she's pretty young. I mean, Micah Monroe is young.
Exactly.
Even if you don't count that, she's supposed to be a young agent.
Yeah, because that's the first scene. They said, all the older agents don't want to do this. It's up to you young guys to do the knocking on doors thing.
Yeah, the grown-up thing that nobody wants to do.
Yeah.
So, but even if she is 31... That means she's 31 in 1995. 30 years before that is 1965. And she was born in 1964. Yeah. So she was born in 1964. The murders started in 1965. That means they can't have been the first. Because they were attacked when she was 9, on her 9th birthday.
The camera family was not the first one.
No, I mean, Harker wasn't the first one. It can't be.
No, and Harker wasn't the first one either.
Because that takes place in 1970.
We don't know who the first one was.
Exactly,
really.
but that's what I'm saying. She wasn't the first one. He didn't ask the first mom. He asked 10 years after he started. Why?
Yeah.
Why? Doesn't make sense. Go to the scene where she says, your mom made a phone call.
I'm in that. She called in a police report. January 13, 1974.
74, when she was 9. Okay, so then
so it's the year before the camera family.
Yeah, and then she's born in 65. Sorry, so she's 30. Yeah, she's 30.
Yeah.
1965. Yeah, which means they were not the first victims.
That's one day before your 9th birthday. That makes your birthday the 14th. Yeah. And that's how they're starting to make the connection between her
Sure,
and
yeah. But that means she wasn't the first victim. He had been murdering people for 10 years before that. So why did he ask her?
But where did you get that he's been doing it for 30 years?
Because the first murders weren't. They say it's been in the beginning. They say we've been chasing this guy for 30 years.
Oh, right, when they're sitting in the car.
Yeah, the very first mention of it. So why would he ask her?
I don't know.
What makes her special? Because you could say that.
Again, like we said, what made him change his ways? Yeah. What made him divert from his pattern?
You could say that,
and then go back to it.
Yeah, you could say then that. But he also says, I've asked everyone the same thing. I ask all of them, but he never interacts with them. So why would he ask them? What do you mean?
Yeah.
Who's asking what? It's bullshit. And like I said, why would he pick her? Could you say, but because there's a connection? They had a connection because she had that intuition. But they also hint that
I'm guessing she got the intuition from the doll.
I was going to say that, okay.
But we said that already.
Yeah, but I know. But I was gonna call back to that in case people are saying, well, that's because she was intuitive. She's supernatural. No, she became that because of the doll. Yeah. So no. So why?
As far as we know, at least.
As far as we know, yeah. Why did he pick her? It doesn't make sense. And it's like, well, it's because the movie has to continue. Yeah, but it's one of those, you can't just gloss over that.
No, that's a big detail.
It's such a big detail, yeah. And especially in a movie full of details, you need to be careful with your details.
They've had a lot of other details alluring to, explaining stuff. Like when she's doing the intuition test, and they show her the flash pictures and she says random things.
Yeah.
She talks about, she mentions mother, father, and daughter, I think. And she mentions, door, which is alluding to the locked door to the basement. Tiger, I don't know what that has to do with anything.
I think that feels more like an Easter egg. I don't think they're supposed to explain anything, but sure.
No, but that's just they're hinting at the end there because they're mentioning things. Ooh. Sure, whatever. That one doesn't really do anything, though.
Yeah, exactly.
Same as with the fucking cipher. It doesn't really do anything except for give her a reason to know, the camera.
Yeah,
the camera people.
It's the way they haven't figured out who he is until now because we couldn't figure out the cipher. And then she doesn't even figure. he just gives her the cipher. What is the
only reason? That's the only explanation I have is like, I'm almost done. I have this last one planned out. Is Miss Ruby? My helper is gonna fix that, and then they're done. So I can die now, and I can show the people that because I'm vain.
Okay. But then here's the next thing. All this is told to us in a flashback. She then wakes up in the basement.
On his bed.
So he has been living underneath her for all this time, which that's creepy.
Which is the man underneath. It's alerting to him or
but also the devil beneath there, the man downstairs even more, Mr. Downstairs. So she crawls out of bed because there's a phone call, and the devil literally calls Lee to say, "You're missing Ruby's birthday." Why? Why would he say that?
Yeah, because he doesn't want her to go there because she can stop everything.
Because he literally tells her like, "Oh, don't forget about Ruby's birthday." So she goes over there, stops her mom from killing the final one, I suppose. Yeah. To complete the pattern, because there was a pattern with the dates and everything. Which is also kind of
upside down triangle.
Which is also they figured that out. But there were killings above.
Yeah,
but they just
had
folded those away and
anything.
like, oh no, it's just this part. Oh, okay. Jesus Christ. Anyway.
Disregarding those.
Yeah. And then, they go over there and, the family's already possessed. Which is also like...
Yeah, because the doll's there.
It was so bad. How the father's like, "Sit down, rah," and hear the voices weird.
Yeah, that he, like, demonic possession voice screamed at them.
Yeah, and Lee's mom is there. It's like, the mom's already dead. She's already dead. Yeah. No, she isn't. I guess she's possessed.
She's sitting right there.
But it means that
she can't.
She's gonna kill him.
He's gonna kill her.
Yeah, sorry, her. Yeah.
And like she can't resist.
Yeah, and they're putting on
this.
Says, like,
go into the kitchen.
Oh, should we get the cakes now? Yeah, I guess we should cut the fucking cakes. It's like,
there's two details that fuck me off though. That's what you're saying. She says, "Should we cut the cake?" Singular.
He says cakes. Yeah.
Yeah. Like,
is that once again the whole S thing? That the devil speaks with S's in the end?
Maybe. Then there's also detail in the scene where she's home alone in the beginning. When she goes home, we don't see her do it, but the deadbolt is on when she's closed the door.
Yeah.
Later, when she goes to check the door, it's off.
Uh-huh.
Later, when she goes outside... No, when she checks the door, it's off, and she puts it there because she hears the knocking.
Yeah.
So she puts in the deadbolt. And then she goes outside through the back door, and she comes around to go inside the front door, and then it's off again and open.
On which house? Her house?
Her home, yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's
she goes out the back door?
She goes out the back door, yeah.
Well, yeah, then she comes in the back door, but walks out the front door.
I guess
because the front door is open. She walks into the house with the front door.
Yeah,
with the gun.
And it's open then, and he has removed the deadbolt.
Yeah, so he walked in through the back
door. But
why
was it? She deadbolted it when she got home. We don't see that, but we see it being deadbolted when she passes it.
Wait,
and then it's not
is the
when
regular
she.
lock. Do you mean the chain?
Oh, whatever. You mean the chain? Yeah, the chain.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah.
But then the chain isn't on when the knocking happens. Is that supposed to throw us off, or was that just a dumb detail?
She puts the chain up when she goes to check after the knock.
Yeah, but we see it when she gets home, when she closes the door. When she like
the chain is on.
Yeah,
it is.
Yes.
Okay. Well, that's I don't know what's called in English. It's a klaffel. Continuation error. Yeah. The line producer should get fired. Especially since that door is so important later on, because they're moving in and out. Okay. But anyway, they're in the house. We haven't explained. That is literally Captain Carter's house.
Yes.
Because we didn't
Miss
say
Ruby's birthday.
Yeah, Miss Ruby is his daughter. They call her Miss Ruby. So yeah, the devil kills the mom through Captain Carter.
Yeah.
And then he comes out to kill them, but Lee shoots him twice. And then she points a gun at her mom and she's like, "Stop it, and shoots her mom as she's about to get up.
Because she pulls out a weird sacrificial dagger thing.
Oh yeah, right. Shoots her. And then she's about to shoot the doll, but there's no bullets left, which is also bullshit because she's only fired 3 bullets.
Exactly.
So I guess
she hasn't used that gun before in the movie, so it's not like she's emptied it earlier.
Yeah, and then yeah,
she's only pointed it. She's never used it.
Yeah, which is also funny because she has I don't know the exact model, but it's like a Glock. It's a semi-automatic gun, like a Glock or something like that, which is standard issue for law enforcement in America. And that's the one she keeps pulling out all the time, her service pistol. But in this last scene, she has a revolver.
Yeah.
Why is it a revolver all of a sudden?
I think that isn't that what she finds downstairs in Longlegs' lair? Maybe
she finds a gun there. I thought she just had her service pistol already on her hip, in the holster.
I mean, after the incident in the station, I wouldn't blame them if they said you can't carry a gun at the moment. But again, that's
but
not
she has a
something we're
gun
told.
Because she goes to pick up her mom and she pulls a gun then.
Oh, that's true, yeah.
She has her service pistol then.
Does her mom take it?
But where did she get the revolver from?
The house?
Okay, whatever. Once again, doesn't really matter, but
I mean, it could have been her regular gun and that could have been out of shots. It doesn't matter. Like, why did they change the gun?
Yeah, I don't know. And that's also one of those, why I start noticing so many of these things and why I can forgive them in movies I like is because you are immersed.
Yeah, you're distracted by the good stuff.
Yeah, and here it's just like, I'm not immersed at all. I'm not invested at all. So it's just like, that's weird, that sticks out, that doesn't make sense. Because I'm not interested in like...
You know what sticks out a lot in this movie and has absolutely no point with anything is the fucking snake shots all of a sudden.
The devil, snakes. Oh.
Yeah, but like, come on.
I don't know.
They're like random like cue cards that have nothing to do with anything except for the iconic red color, I guess. And it's eerie.
Yeah, I don't know about that either.
Same with they're obviously alluding the devil is part of all of this, but why are we seeing the devil physically and in like shadow form all over the place all the time?
Because
don't show us that.
The devil is it's supposed to be very like subtle, which it is.
It's not.
Well, it is because from what I heard, there's like over 30 shots of the devil in the movie, and I was looking for them because I knew that, and I think I saw 4.
Oh, I didn't count them, but I definitely saw over 10.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't know the devil had anything to do with it, and I was like, "There's a devil's," because you saw the iconic like big hooded figure with the horns,
the classic ram's horns. Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, "That's the devil," and there he is again. I even tried to like point at it for you, but
I know. I pointed a couple times too.
Yeah.
I saw him. I saw
devil.
him. I saw him when she was, running around outside her house after she heard "Harker." With the whole door thing.
First of all, she sees something through the window, which is 2 silhouettes.
Super faint over there.
And then the devil is behind him.
Yeah, exactly. There's a couple more like that. There's some where he shows up in the reflection of the door in the end.
Yes.
But I think I saw 4 or 5. So
I saw a bunch.
The point is to show that, the devil is amongst us.
Sure.
The evil is in all of us. So
see, if we hadn't seen the silhouette of the devil everywhere, if it hadn't been pointed out to us, could have played it off more as Longlegs being fucking sick in the head.
Yes.
Which would have been more palpable. Is that the word I'm looking for? Like, I could accept it better.
Because what it ends up is that it's literally the devil who's killing people.
Yeah.
Through Longlegs and
Longlegs
mom.
is putting the devil into these dolls that possess the dad to kill the family and then himself.
Yeah. And that's it. Oh, it was the devil who did it.
Why? Who the fuck knows? Hail Satan.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. God works in mysterious ways, so does the devil, I suppose.
Yeah.
But to me, but we're literally at the end of the movie.
Yes.
So she can't destroy the doll, but she says, "Come on, Ruby, let's go." But right before that, though, we get she keeps saying, clicking the gun, and you hear the weird music, and then you see Longlegs again in the interrogation room where he kills himself. He sings "Happy Birthday" and goes, "Hail Satan," and winks.
Wink and dunk.
And that's literally the end of the movie.
Yeah.
He doesn't even dunk, he just cuts to black.
That's true.
Which some people hint like, did he survive?
No, he did not.
Oh, that's just to say that the devil is still there. But so they just leave. Okay, so Ruby survived. The devil's work wasn't finished because he literally led the one girl who could stop him there. Why?
Yeah, I don't know why.
Why?
He wanted to corrupt her to have her do the ending. I don't know.
But then why have
and I don't understand why not just crush the doll's head instead?
Yeah.
And just bash it open and bash open the ball. I mean, they managed to open that ball separate times, or the other time with camera girls.
They literally say, "Can you open it?" Yeah, but there's nothing in there.
And they open it, and there's nothing in there.
Yeah, except for the devil.
Well, yeah, but they can't see that.
No. So that's how it ends. Like, okay, we did it. We stopped the devil. Okay.
Did we?
Yes, we did. For all intents and purposes, because the movie's over, people are already speculating, oh, is there going to be a sequel? Oscar Perkins said no, because he's happy with the ending. Which means that, they stopped the devil here, but, you could say that, well, thematically, evil still exists. The devil still exists. You can. It's Halloween, you can't destroy evil. Evil is,
everywhere.
It's Fugazi,
it's part of it.
It's Washi, it's Wusi. But then I'm left with, okay, other than figuring out the mystery, who was the killer and everything, which, they spoil in the middle of the movie.
Yep.
And then literally told us, it's like, yep, and he asked me to help him to save you right before the end. Like, literally just spelling it out. So other than the mystery, quote unquote, what am I supposed to get out of this movie?
Nothing.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's nothing.
All these, because I'm thinking then, because it feels like, because there's so many like weird details, like we said, that doesn't make sense, gaps in the writing and all that. Are they actually deliberate and he's trying to make a point? Like, what is the, like we said, we know what the plot is. It's figuring out who the murderer is. What is the story? What is the movie about? Because, once again, we said movies can just be about, action, John Wick, great, example of that.
Yeah.
There's not really, there's a little bit deeper meaning, but it's not really more of a meaning there. It's just action. But, and then you can even have police thrillers like this, like, there's not about anything. It can just be exciting, figuring it out, But that wasn't very exciting in this. So then you're hoping that, well, at least, I got something else out of it. But I didn't.
No.
Did you?
No, and I'm literally scrolling through the trivia to see if there's someone who put it there.
Yeah.
There's nothing really. Even there's such stupid details as, why is he called Longlegs? What does that have to do with anything?
Yeah. He does technically explain it in the first scene. He says, "Oh, I'm sorry I put on my long legs today.
Yeah.
If I took them off, maybe I could look like this." And then he leans down. But that's it.
Into
He's
the camera,
taller than the girls. That's it.
That's about it, yeah. I imagine then that people, when they were possessed, walked funny in the movie. But it's I don't know if that's true, if I just put that in there myself.
The only one who walks weird is the priest and the camera murders. But I think he's just having a, oh shucks kind of walk.
Yeah.
Because he's not possessed.
No.
He's a victim,
I'm not finding anything in the trivia that explains it.
No. And then I know some people talk well, this does comment on, and it comments on being a woman, in a very male-centric profession. That is brought up once. And
it has nothing
are you scared
to do with
being a lady
anything.
FBI agent? Yeah, that's just okay. That's never explored further than that. Other than there's always guys around, and that is specifically a reference to Silence of the Lambs, which if you want to talk about a movie that it's also kind of it's just it's a plot, pretty straightforward. They figure out, but there it actually takes them up to the ending to figure it out.
Yeah,
and you're oh, so that's what it means. But the movie also has themes, because she is constantly, it's not overbearing, it's not what the movie is about, but there is a theme of, being a female in a male-centric workforce.
Sure.
'Cause everyone's taller than her. There's this great shot when she's in the elevator.
Yeah.
She's standing in the elevator, and then it's the camera's at her eye height. And then like 5 guys walks into the elevator, and you can't see their heads because she's literally just reaches them to the shoulders.
Yeah, she's a head shorter, literally.
Yeah, and showing how hard she constantly works so hard in that movie because she has to. Because as a woman, especially in the 90s, this takes place in the 90s, you kind of have to outperform your male colleagues in order to even be
show
noticed.
up, basically.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's the whole point of that movie. Not the whole point, but that's part of the point of that movie.
Okay, someone put here. Someone gave it an 8 out of 10.
Okay.
Has attested it to Longlegs is a dark tale portraying a theme of how children live under a veil with rose-colored glasses, but eventually those come off and you become very alert of the horror surrounding you and the whole world.
Yeah, when they grow up, everyone does that.
Yeah, that's not
Children
the theme of the movie, really.
No, because the children get murdered.
Yeah, none of the only 2 children actually grow up, and one of them grows up in catatonic state.
Yeah,
she doesn't actually grow up,
and that's when they figured out that the world is terrible and full of darkness. Now you don't have.
That's not the theme of the movie, though.
No, exactly, and also that's every adult I think realizes like when they grow up and like a few years into having a job, paying a mortgage, or doing your taxes, you realize like, oh, the world is a fucking hellhole.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, sure, they do say, oh, you have to do all the boring stuff that grown-ups do. I guess that's a hint at it, because that's what it is. Yes, the world is a much better place when you're a kid, in general. I'm not saying it's all terrible. I'm joking. But that's not like, oh my god, how insightful. Yeah, the world sucks, and you don't know that until you grow up. Next. Yeah.
I'm scrolling through all of them.
Sure,
I've only seen one 10 out of 10 so far, and it's someone who actually felt uncomfortable and got jump scared. I have to admit, I did get jump scared a couple of times.
But it was
mainly the music sting and just
which I don't fault the movie for doing musical stings, but I mean that's literally what we complain about in bad popcorn scare movies.
Yeah.
That it's just a big musical sting. There's nothing scary actually there.
And they did the thing where you have shots where there's too much background, so you sort of expect something to happen behind them.
Yeah.
But they never do anymore because that's been done and done. So no one actually does that anymore. But then they still use those shots to kind of go like, "Hey, you guys who watched movies in the 2000s, you know that there could be someone."
Yeah.
But then they don't do it anymore. I'm like, stop it. Just zoom in then.
Yeah.
Why show so much background if you're not going to use it?
Yeah.
It's to give this. It's so empty behind you. You don't know what. No, shut up.
Yeah.
But most of the reviews are like middling, and they all go too much promotion, too much fake advertising. They call it, some of them.
Yeah.
It's a bit disappointing. Like, I like the performance, I like the cinematography, but it doesn't really get anywhere. There's no point to the story, and it kind of loses everything because you had such high expectations.
Yeah, and that's
what we said.
Yeah, and that's what. Yeah, I want to emphasize that a little bit more. But you mentioned it there. Yeah, I think this is a victim of overhype. Because they did for this little small movie that honestly it could have just been released like one trailer and then 2 weeks later the movie was released. That's usually how movies like this happen. But because they promoted it for so long, and with this very tactical promotion with the cryptic clips being released and not even telling us what the title was or anything like that, and then really leaning into the whole, people are scared of the movie, we're going to lean into that, it really built it up. And I'm not saying I'm smarter than other people, but I think a lot of people just ate that up and then was like, oh yeah, I was super scared of it because I'm supposed to be scared. For me, it's like, oh yeah, this looks super interesting, but then when it doesn't deliver on that, it feels like the trailers and the posters and all that scammed me. It's like, that wasn't what the thing was. That's why I was thrown out of it.
Yeah.
So I'm, and the more we talk about it, I was hoping that we were gonna figure out that maybe it is better than I think it is, but no. Some details. Yes, but in the long run, I still don't see the point of it.
Someone I follow on Letterboxd literally said, like, because she likes these kinds of weird, strange, creepy movies. That's her thing.
Sure.
Or their thing. I'm assuming it's her. I'm sorry. But they're pointing out that like it's frustrating that I can't quite put my finger on why I don't love something that I should love. Should being as in this is right up my alley. This is my kind of movie normally.
Exactly.
But I can't love it.
And
imagery is haunting. The score is unsettling. It looks beautiful. And Blair Underwood is stellar. Which one was Blair Underwood? Was that the mom?
That's the cop. Yeah.
Right.
His name is Blair. I know.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Poor man.
Yeah. I find myself feeling more invested in the first half than the second half.
Definitely. When it's
even though I'm uncertain as to why I'm weirdly on the fence about this, there's one thing I'm certain of. I don't know what this means. We T-Rex fans do not claim Longlegs. I don't know what that means.
Well, T-Rex is the band that keeps being brought up in the beginning, and I think most of the things he like sings are T-Rex lyrics.
Oh,
I guess it's just a band he enjoyed. I don't know if they were like. I never heard them being like referenced to devil worship or anything.
Are they the opposite of Longlegs because they have short arms or what?
Yes! That's it.
That's the only thing I can think of.
He loves T-Rex because he has long legs.
Yeah.
Okay, sure. But, yeah, no, I want to just to go back to the overgrown expectations of this. I think this is one of the movies that people really wanted to like.
Yes.
And also it's one of those... And some people really did like it, so then the rest are like... They don't want to
have to like it too.
They don't want to appear dumb because I didn't get it or I didn't like it. So they don't want people saying, "Well, I guess you gotta read up on your media literacy, pal, because this movie's actually great. You just don't get it." Like, no, I get it. I'm getting that feeling like it's a little bit FOMO almost. You know,
almost,
we never used it, but it kind of fits actually.
It's so weird that most people won't understand it, but if you say you don't understand it, you're not cool.
Exactly.
It's FOMO. It's fear of missing out.
Yeah, I'll just read some because it has a lot of positive reviews, a lot of 10 out of 10s here on Metacritic. The first one being a 10 out of 10 from Slash Film. And it says, after it's over, you won't soon forget what you've seen and heard. Even if you try, it'll come back, whether in your fantasies, your nightmares, or both. And I can tell you... Other than Nicolas Cage's performance, but that's because it's Nicolas Cage, I remember every one of his performances. I will not remember anything about this movie.
No, I give you the fact that his face is fucking terrifying, but I've almost already forgotten it. Yeah. I was afraid in the theater. I was like, oh shit, this is going to haunt me in my dreams. As it is now, I'm like, I don't even remember what it looks like.
Yeah, and honestly, you could see like the seams in the makeup sometimes.
Yeah, which I'm not sure if that was... the point, because he's a doll maker, so he made himself a doll, or like
I don't know. I don't really understand.
It just looks like terrible cosmetics, basically.
Yeah, and I'm not really sure why they did that. They didn't want it to look like Nicolas Cage. Well, then you shouldn't have told us it was Nicolas Cage.
Exactly.
I don't know. Whatever. Total film, 10 out of 10. The horrors, like Cage himself, are largely kept off screen for much of the movie's duration. Yeah, until he shows up all over the movie.
Yeah.
Yet with its eerie soundscape and sepulchral visual. Sepulchral has to do with the church something?
Yeah, right?
Is that just a cooler word for gothic? Hold on. Sepulchral. Of relating to a burial vault or receptacle for sacred relics. Yeah, exactly. The church. Yeah. Gothic. They just didn't. They want to sound cool. Typical. I get the movie, so I won't call it gothic. I'll call it sepulchral.
Because it sounds cooler and better.
Fuck you, Neil Smith.
It's lite finare, lite bättre almost.
Exactly. It's pretentious is what it is.
Yeah.
Sepulchral visuals. Longlegs nevertheless succeeds as a deeply disconcerting experience. One that burrows into the brain as insidiously as the innocuous means its villains employs to disseminate his... Oh, then it was cut off. Hold on. Disseminate his evil. Okay, so both these are not talking about anything more than, well, the vibes are cool. The mood.
Which, sure,
they are, sure. I just want more from my movies.
We can't just go off vibes. We need more than vibes when it's an entire movie.
Yeah. San Francisco Chronicle, 10 out of 10. Longlegs is a conjuring, of dark, poetic cinema, where the devil is definitely in the details. The devil ruined all the details. It's full of dumb details. The stupidity is in the details. I get what he means with poetic cinema, because it is very painterly, very, there's things you wouldn't really put in there, like, when Longlegs talks to Lee and her mom there in the 70s, he starts like saying, "Let me in." Like, why would he do that? Because it looks weird. And I'm fine with that if you just want
creepy.
to. It's creepy. It's a creepy visual. I'm fine with that to call it poetic cinema. But I still want something more.
Yeah.
Besides that,
Every single one of the not critics reviews, all the people reviews, are all saying it looks fine. It looks pretty good. It's interesting. And the first half is kind of good, but then we don't go anywhere. And there's the mystery itself ruined it basically.
Yeah,
because there is no proper mystery. We don't get any good explanations for anything.
There is a mystery, but they, like you said, they ruin it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And here's
most people enjoyed Nicolas Cage's performance, and that's about it.
Yeah, which they should, because he's always amazing.
Yes.
We've talked about that. There's a whole podcast of it. You can check it out on this channel. It's called Madness in the Method. Here, I'll read a couple more, but I won't read all of them. Here, the playlist. Now we're down into the 90s. Ooh. Longlegs is a film that would crawl under your skin and live there for 100 minutes. It will make you uncomfortable. I'll say this, and I know that's going to be telling, because now people are going to use that as fodder. I fell asleep. I was obviously not that interested. And this was early. It wasn't like, I was so tired from work. I had a short day at work. I had a nice meal before, so I was energized. I had some sugary drinks. Yes. And still, the movie managed to put me to sleep. This scary, intense, horrific, violent cop. More like fucking snooze fest. That's why
there was a lull in the middle where actually even I was like, oh, shit.
Yeah, that's where I fell asleep. And
but then the interrogation started, and I was like, I'm gonna perk up now.
Sure,
that's what you.
I'll say this to anyone who wants to say, well, you didn't see it, so you don't know. That's why you don't like it. Like I said, I got the digital version because it's available in America. I watched through it again, not the whole thing, of course, but I skimmed through it and I watched that middle part where I wasn't really paying attention, and I checked. The part where I fell asleep was literally, I think, 1 minute and 34 seconds.
Yeah.
Problem was that there was one very important detail in the middle of that minute, which really connected the whole. That's when he says, "Oh, your mom called in 1975 about a tall, pale man, so you need to talk to her about that." That's what I missed.
Yeah.
So when I woke up, she was talking to her mom about when they called the cops. I was like, why are you talking about that? Why are you bringing that up now? What?
Yeah.
So yeah, I was not very interested before that, and I was completely baffled after that.
Yeah.
Having seen that detail now, it does not really help.
I mean, it helps to explain why she's there.
Yeah, sure. But
it doesn't explain, why do we care?
Yeah.
Honestly, to round this off, someone put it, it's a very short and very well-written review. Very weird. Made no sense. Didn't get anything at all, but yeah, creepy as fuck. We'll never watch again.
Sure, yeah. Wow, it has 1-0 from Rex Reed. I know we can be kind of harsh sometimes. From The Observer, he writes, "What one does not expect is a load of total trash, full of gimmicks instead of ideas." He's not wrong there.
No.
Stolen scenes from other movies, yeah. Straight up sometimes, like we said with the Silence of the Lambs thing.
Yeah.
Instead of originality, but there is some originality in there.
Sure.
Amateuric posturing instead of professional performances. I see what he means, but I still think Micah Monroe and Nicolas Cage are great, or good. Micah Monroe is good. He's great. Clueless meandering instead of organized screenplays. No, yeah. And pointless confusion instead of clear-eyed direction.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say it's a 0, but I do agree with a lot of that.
I give it plus points for the creepy vibes. I did get scared while I was watching it. I liked the vibes of it, but I didn't like it as a movie. Yeah. So, you get like half a star extra for that.
Yeah.
Performances were good.
Yeah, I'll probably land on like a 2.5 or 2.
Yeah, that's what I did.
Love Nicolas Cage in it.
Wish there was more of him, to be honest.
I guess.
Even though that ruins it, but
there shouldn't have been a devil. It should have been him. He should have been the evil. The evil that lives in man.
Yeah.
Yeah. He should have been there at the end.
Oh, like we've said in so many other horror films, it's the horror of humanity.
Yeah, we mentioned in the beginning of this. It's been so long now since we started, but yeah,
he should have been the scary part, not the devil.
Imagine if he put the devil in people and made them kill their families. Is literally like a poison. Because I mean, slight reach here, but there are poisons where you can literally put like a truth serum, but almost like you can make them do what you want.
Yeah.
You put the poison in, I think it's called a curare or something like that. There's different versions of a curare where you can they're like paralyzed, and then you tell them like, well, now slit your throat, and they'll do it.
Yeah.
There's like, you
could have used hypnosis if you wanted to.
Exactly. And he says, I'll put the devil in you, as he puts the poison in them. And he's there at the end. He has poisoned the family. You can see the dad is like, he's struggling against the poison, but he says, and now you kill your wife. The devil kills your wife. And he seemed like, no, and he kills his wife in front of them. That would have been much scarier.
Yeah.
That would have been horrific. And he's like, and you can't stop them. And
then he sings a weird tune or something.
And she's like, oh my God. Yeah, and she's like, no, and just shoots him.
Yeah.
Well, first shoots the dad because he goes for the daughter.
Obviously.
And then she's like, you bastard, and shoots him in the head. And he's like, oh.
Yeah.
Because he never thought she would do that because she's his little angel.
Yeah.
Because he's delusional, he's crazy. He didn't think she would ever shoot him, huh? But then she does. And then she stares at him and you still hear his voice in her head. Happy birthday, Hail Satan, because for the rest of her life, she'll always remember him, though. That's how evil stays.
By him.
Evil stays with you. But then she says, "Let's go, Ruby," and that's it. That would be much scarier if he was there all the time. That's why going back to Silence of the Lambs. That's why Hannibal Lecter is so scary, because there's no devil or demon. He's just evil.
Which is why my favorite horror film, or one of my favorite horror films, is the most scariest thing I've ever seen. Because you were home. The strangers.
Yeah.
There's no rhyme or reason. They're not blaming the devil. It's just home.
Evil.
It's just human being evil.
It's the darkest, parts of humanity. Yeah. That's so. Yeah. But yeah, like I said,
that's it.
Once again, like we said in the beginning, why all the letterboxed kids and films where the kids like it? Because you could partly that, but you can also screenshot any scene from this and it'll look cool on Instagram.
Yeah.
That's
the
aesthetics are great.
For Christ's sake.
Yeah. Whatever. People are gonna say we're stupid for not liking the movie, but no, you're stupid. This movie.
Please tell us in the comments how dumb we are.
Please,
we want it.
You know what I'm gonna do?
Need it.
Because this has just been a long rant, so I don't think I'm gonna be able to clip any of this. You know what I'm just gonna do? I'm just gonna cut up the full episode into like 5-6 pieces, and just call it, Longlegs Sucked Part 1. And put that up as clips. I don't give a fuck.
Go for it.
Yeah, let's see what people say.
That's it.
That's it. Thank you so much for listening. If you listen to the whole thing, thank you so much.
Yeah.
If you're here for Longlegs Sucked Part 6, sorry.
It sucked.
Yeah, it sucked. But this still, check it out. Maybe you'll like it. A lot of people did.
This is just our opinion.
Exactly, which it always
We're allowed to have it.
But I think we should point that out for this. We have to do that. We'll be back next week with something.
I don't remember. We have it somewhere. I don't remember.
Yeah, maybe The Crow, because I kind of want to talk about it. I've seen parts of it. Well, we'll see. But either way, we'll be back next week. But until then...
check it out next week to find out.
Until then, have a good one. Bye! The Spoilercast is part of Please Don't Make a Scene. It is produced and directed by Tobias Vedén and hosted by Tobias and Rebecca Vedén. Executive producer is Annika Vedén. I also want to give a huge shout out to all our patrons over on patreon.com/don'tmakeascene. Mom, Dad, Christopher Belén, Daniel Del Gaiso, Mac and Mom, Laura Kinney, and CK85.